guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of the Fishing Teacher, and appreciate you guys joining me for today's episode. We've got a really good winter bass fishing video for y'all today. I'm going to talk about 3 of my favorite lures to use during the winter time, and more importantly, I'm going to talk about exactly how I fish them and the areas that I fish them in. I mean, there's probably about a dozen different lures that I use in the winter, but I got 3 that sort of stand out head and above all the rest we're going to get into in today's episode here. And also, guys, speaking of winter fishing, you probably heard me talking about it. I'd like to invite everybody to swing by fishthemoment.com and check out my winter lake map breakdowns that I built for Fish the Moment. I'll put the link in the description of this video to my lake map breakdowns. And this is a great way, guys, to get some good fishing places on a lake that you've never seen or your favorite lake for this winter time. It gives you GPS waypoints on these maps you can download straight to your depth finder with advice and tips on how to locate and how to fish each spot. So again, I'll have that link in the description. And also, guys, all the baits that I'll talk about today, I'll have in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of this video. And if you guys would like to use that link that I put in the video to order some of these baits, that really helps the channel out a lot. Appreciate that. And finally, thank you for everybody that's taken time to subscribe here to the Fishing Teacher. Really appreciate that. Okay, I have got a lot of baits that I fish in the wintertime, and I do fish a lot in the winter, which it's sort of funny because I hate fishing in cold weather. I mean, if it was up to me, I'd be in shorts and t-shirt all the time. I love fishing in warm weather. My favorite thing is like to get out, 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning and be completely comfortable in shorts and a t-shirt. I hate fishing in cold weather, but living here in the Ozarks, we got a lot of good cold water fishing, and I do a lot of jerkbait fishing. So I'm fishing in the wintertime a lot, all bundled up. So I got a lot of experience with that. And there's 3 baits that really are my staple. I mean, again, I've got probably a dozen that I rotate around, but I really want to highlight these 3 that I really like in today's episode, give you guys some tips and advice on where to fish them and how to fish them. Okay, the first one is an old school deal, guys, and a lot of people don't use this. It's a white jigging spoon. Again, I'll have all this stuff linked in my Tackle Warehouse link. Usually a white, either a 1/2 ounce or 3/4 ounce. This is a 1/2 ounce here. I actually prefer the 1/2 ounce over the 3/4. It seems like I get more bites on the 1/2, and it gets down to the bottom really quick. It's really efficient. But the key is the white. A lot of people don't use a white jigging spoon. They usually use a chrome spoon, but a white is an excellent color in the wintertime because a lot of times I'm fishing these jigging spoons pretty deep, anywhere between say 30 to 50 foot deep, sometimes 60. And I think there's something about the white that shows up or glows a little bit more when you're jigging a spoon in deeper water. So if you've never caught a bass on a jigging spoon, guys, do not get intimidated. It's an easy way to catch bass. And let me sort of explain to you guys a couple different ways that are really easy to catch them on it. Some beginning to advanced ways to catch them on it. The easiest way to catch a bass on a jigging spoon is get out on some type of a main lake or secondary point. If you have a lake that has water visibility over 3 or 4 foot in clarity, I really like to have at least 3 foot of clarity. I prefer 4 or 5 foot of clarity, but get out on some cleaner water lake, main lake or secondary point, and get in about anywhere between 25 to 45 foot of water, just on the end of the point, on the point sides, and simply go around the point, taking the jigging spoon and just pitch it out in front of the boat, like pitch it out about 10 foot in front of you and peel the line off, let it go to the bottom, and then just basically take it and you just snap it up off the bottom. I mean, you just let it go to the bottom like that and just snap it off like that, let it go down, snap it up, let it go down. And normally, if you snap it, all you gotta do is snap it 5 or 6 times. If there's a fish down there, they're gonna bite it. If you don't get a bite in 5 or 6 snaps, reel it in and just continue pitching around the point. Just almost like you're pitching and flipping bushes, but you're just pitching out in front of the boat. Try to get that bait by the time the boat glides forward down vertical where you can fish straight underneath it. That's the easiest way to catch them. Now, the other way to catch them is you're gonna have to use your electronics a little bit more on this. Get out, go back, try to find like a major creek arm in a lake and get back in one of the coves in those major creek arms. Get in the middle of the cove and usually about halfway back into the cove where the water's 30 or 45 feet deep, and look in the middle of the cove to see if you see any shad back there, because a lot of times in the wintertime, the shad will like to migrate back in those major creek arms, and they'll suspend in those ditches or those guts in the middle of the coves. If you see some shad out there, take the jigging spoon, pitch it out by the shad balls, and just vertical jig it at the depth that you see the shad. Now, most of the time this is going to be suspended. Sometimes they're going to be closer to the bottom, but just pay attention to the depth that the shad are. Those are my two favorite ways to catch them on a jigging spoon, but I basically spend most of my time on points with a jigging spoon. It's a really effective way. Couple different things, guys, is on your jigging spoon, also make sure it has a barrel swivel. See that? If you don't have a barrel swivel and you try to tie directly to the eye on the spoon, it's a twisting mother. Your line will twist and wrap around your rod tip in a second. So always have a barrel on there, barrel swivel. It really helps out. Okay, the second one is a finesse jig. This is my Blaukat Power Finesse jig by Cumberland Pro Lures. Again, I'll have this linked in the description. A living rubber jig like this. This is our living rubber frog hair jig is critical in the wintertime in that cold water. You're gonna get twice the bites on a living rubber frog hair jig as you will a silicone skirt jig. Most of the time I'm using some type of a green or brown with purple or blue in it. Green pumpkin trailer with the thing, usually a 3/8 or half. And an easy way to catch them in the wintertime on a finesse jig like this, just get out on channel banks. Steeper channel banks or bluff banks, one of the two. I actually prefer bluffs. Bluffs are my favorite. And find those areas, those rocky banks where the creek channel or the river channel swings in tight to the bank, and just slowly and methodically work this jig down anywhere between, say, 10 to 40 foot of water. Depending upon your water clarity, if it's real clear, all the way down to 30 or 40 foot deep. If you got 2 to 3 foot of visibility, maybe, less than 15 foot. But a little finesse jig like this, 12-pound test fluorocarbon line, definitely gets you a lot of bites in the wintertime. Now, finally, the third one that I catch a lot of fish in, this is no surprise. You've had guys that have been with the channel, you've heard me talk about this, but I want to reiterate the effectiveness, is this Megabass Nanahan +2. Again, I'll link this in my Tackle Warehouse link. This is my #1 wintertime jerkbait. X-Nanahan +2. It's got a deep lip on it. I usually put it on 6 to 8 pound test Seaguard and VizX fluorocarbon line, most of the time on 6. And it'll run down over 10 foot deep on 6-pound line on a long cast. And I just fish it on the whatever places you think you can catch one on a jerkbait in the lake you're fishing. If you have some submergent vegetation, you can fish it over that, deeper grass, bluff banks, points, just down channel banks, down the banks in general. I run a lot of points here in the Ozarks with it, and there's something about this little finesse. It's about a 2.5 inch long, 3 inch long, it's probably about 3 inches long, about a 3 inch long jerkbait gets bit, guys. This thing will get bit, especially if you have a lake that has a few spotted bass and smallmouth and largemouth mixed in it. It'll catch them all 3 species, but it seems like those cleaner water lakes that have a mixed species, this thing works the best at. But this is the bait that I have on. If I go to Table Rock Lake in the wintertime, like between now and February, you won't go fishing with me without me seeing this thing on. It'll catch them. So Megabass X-Nanahan +2 there. But anyway, guys, that's the three confidence baits. I catch them on other stuff too. I catch them on wiggle warts and Alabama rigs, and I do catch them on some different type of jerk baits and even slow roll and spinner baits sometime. But these are my 3 favorite. White spoon, X-Nanahan +2, my little Blaukat Power Finesse jig right here. You'll get some bites on these 3 baits here in the wintertime. So hope it helps out, guys. We'll talk later.